A record number of icebergs in Canada's so-called Iceberg Alley is forcing cargo ships to find new routes. The icebergs along the coast of Newfoundland are crowding popular shipping lanes and attracting tourists who want to see them up close. The International Ice Patrol reports the number of icebergs in the alley has tripled so far this year. So we sent Jeff Glor, and he is near Cape Spear in Newfoundland. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. We're just off the easternmost point of North America. The Canadian Coast Guard alone has been called 85 times this season to help ships in trouble. But this is a team effort, and the goal is to make sure those emergencies never happen in the first place, which is why we went up with the International Ice Patrol to look for dangers below. The C-130J in Hangar 4 at the St. John's Airport comes out only when conditions are right. In weather-beaten Newfoundland and Labrador, that is not often. As we boarded, we saw how every moment matters for the International Ice Patrol.
The goal of this flight is just to get a general overview of the iceberg population in this area.
Gabrielle McGraw is the U.S. Coast Guard commander leading the patrol, a coalition of 17 nations first formed in 1913. After the Titanic's maiden voyage was doomed by an iceberg.
Over the last 104 years, any vessel heeding our warnings has been safe from the danger of iceberg collision.
Yes, I see it.
This mission is about identifying and tracking the biggest and most dangerous formations.
So the goal of this buoy is to do what?
What it will do is it will track the sea surface temperature and the currents at the depth of 50 meters, which we consider to be the driving depth of the icebergs.
Signals from a buoy can be tracked immediately from the patrol's operations center in New London, Connecticut, where they're handling a fourth straight extreme season for icebergs. 660 icebergs right now. You typically see at this time of year how many icebergs?
On average, at the end of April, our number is about 212.
So around three times as many right now.
Exactly.
With more coming down.
Yes.
This year, the hulking white mountains crowding Iceberg Alley were brought in part by two extraordinary weather systems in late March.
We had a low pressure system that moved south of the island of Newfoundland, and it had sustained hurricane force winds for a 3-day period that went through and really pulled those icebergs down south through the Labrador Current. So we had, in just a week period, we went from 37 icebergs in the shipping lanes up to 455.
It produced spectacular images.
So there it is from up high, the iceberg that has gained so much attention.
But also loosened all this sea ice, which has clogged the world's busiest shipping pipeline.
This is something our ships have been dealing with for many years.
Aslak Ross is the head of marine standards for Maersk Line.
We operate big ships, and our safety is priority, and hence we really try to avoid the areas of icebergs. It is definitely something that needs to be considered in safe navigation.
The waves of ice are crippling the fishing business and stranding large ferries. The patrol planes can fly just hundreds of feet above the ocean surface to give spotters a clear view. There's also a 360-degree radar under the nose.
What does the radar show you?
So it will actually automatically pick up targets.
The sights can be sublime. They've drawn tourists from around the world to this unique island province. But as Commander McGraw knows, the danger is ever present. The worst case scenario you're trying to prevent is another Titanic.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Every day, that's something that we keep in our minds at Ice Patrol every day, is the disaster that happened back in 1912, and we strive to provide the best ice information possible.
On just yesterday's flight, the International Ice Patrol found 382 icebergs. And keep in mind, peak season is not until May and June. Alex?
Jeff Glor in Newfoundland.
What
the International
amazing-
Ice Patrol.
Oh, yeah, but
reporting for duty.
Indeed, but they look also like great sculptures.
Yeah. Oh, they're massive, right? Fascinating footage.
Yeah, great story.